I will be talking about some of the allegations and stuff later. I don't want to start off the review with that because that would be too long and probably would uninterest people from the video. So let's talk about the actual movie first. This movie is about Scooby Doo and WWE. A lot of the people are actually voiced by the actual characters, and surprisingly, it's the big stars and not the smaller stars. Because we got The Miz, Triple H, John Cena, and even Mr. McMahon all voice their character. And then Brodus Clay, AJ Lee, and Santino Marella are not voiced by their characters. Very weird. Brodus Clay is just here to be unfunny, in my opinion. He just keeps doing this funk thing. I don't even remember his character being like that in WWE. It was just mostly him dancing. But yeah, he makes a lot of funk puns. Like, man, that was not funky when he gets beat up and shit like that. It was very stupid. Scooby-Doo beats the bear and Kane by remembering that he's good at video games. It's very goofy. But you know, what do you expect from a kid's movie? They're just like, hey, Scooby, it's just like the game. That means you can beat up a wrestler that's been training for years in real life. Makes total sense. Very goofy. But, I mean, that's kind of the joy of it. It's just a kid's movie. We also get a Young Justice cameo. But it's more of... It's not even really a cameo because they showed him like multiple times. Probably got at least a good 40 seconds of screen time. Which, yes, that could be a cameo for maybe a wrestler. This is a completely different show that they just keep showing. Of them, cheering on the wrestlers and stuff. Now, there really isn't much to this movie, so let's talk about the wrestler cameos and wrestlers that have not aged well that are in here. We get John Cena, voiced by Cena. Miz, who only has like 3 scenes, also voiced by the real Miz. Mr. McMahon, voiced by McMahon. Everybody knows he's not a good person, so I'm not going to talk about him. Michael Cole is in here. He's not the best person either. And he's actually voiced by Michael Cole. Triple H is here. We also have Santino Marella, but he's not voiced by Santino, who also isn't the best person with a lot of his homophobia that he's very proud of. Get AJ Lee, who's not voiced by AJ Lee. It's always cool, but she's like the only female wrestler in here. Because at the time, WWE did not promote their female wrestlers. So their only really popular one was AJ Lee and the Bella Twins. But the Bella Twins don't really make an appearance here, so it's just her. And they also, throughout the movie, instead of putting real wrestlers in here, they just put like these generic characters in here. Like, we do see other female wrestlers, but they're not based off of anybody. They're just a generic animation design. We also get Sergeant Slaughter and Jimmy Hart. Sin Cara is a big role in this movie. He helps beat the bear with Scooby. Like, he's treated like a legend in this movie. When they introduce like all the best people, like, the 3 big stars, they go Cena, Kane, Sin Cara? Like, no, you guys were not pushing him to be a big star, dude. He only won the NXT titles. Like, I'm pretty sure he didn't win any other titles. Kalisto was the only luchador to win a bunch of titles in WWE that wasn't Rey Mysterio. Or Alberto Del Rio, because he won a lot of world titles and shit like that. Speaking of Del Rio, he's one that has aged not well. Because, him abusing Paige. He used to be one of my favorite wrestlers until I found out about that shit. I just can't like someone that is a piece of shit. And we also got Jerry the King Lawler. There's a lot of pedophilia allegations, but people tend to forget about that. And that is really all the wrestlers in this movie besides Big Show, who also has a non-speaking role. A lot of the wrestlers in here have non-speaking roles. Del Rio didn't have a speaking role either. He was just kind of there for one scene with Big Show. Overall, it's a pretty decent movie. It is a kid's movie, so I'm not going to criticize it as much as I would other movies.